What up, guys? Mermaid 2.0 here, and we are back with another Endless Night Encore review. Today we are doing Two Birds, One Tombstone. And if you remember correctly from last episode, I did a long rant about Aurora and how she's a special case to being here and everything. And then we learned about the three methods. Well, not really. We heard that they're using three methods. So Victor said so we can assume there's more gods that control this place. We already assumed that, but now it's even more confirmed. And we learned that Hatoi's master plan, pretty much, about his master plan, and listening in. And how Victor is going to be the one to collect Blackbird's debt. So, let's see. Is that That's Blackbird. Oh, no. Okay, that face, see that face? That face is scary. Like, if I saw that face all of a sudden, like that shadow of a face, I'd be scared out of my mind. So that's just the creepy face. You know what? That face actually looks like from, what anime? I mean, that's a common face of some terrifying person in a clown for like circus or something, but wearing a mask. But that looks super scary, and he's shaking too. That can't be Blackbird because Blackbird is a CEO of the biggest company, and you would expect a CEO not to be shaking and stuff like that when you see something like that. You expect the CEO to be like big, tall, and whatever, not like. Oh, that's not Blackbird? Oh, I can't wait to see who's Blackbird. Oh, looking at your shoulder, I don't see anyone there. Oh, there he is. Wait, that's Blackbird? So this further confirms the theory that when you get to Rivlainge, your soul takes on the form of whatever it thinks of or whatever it chooses. So, since most people, I think a lot of people don't know of the afterlife and don't believe in it, or they do believe in it, but they expect them to look like themselves when they go instead of something else. So, when they die, they get the choice. Well, they don't. I don't think they get the choice. I think the soul chooses. Their soul chooses, and it seems like because if you remember correctly, Karina said, "When I got here, I was told that in Rivland you could be anything or anyone," which just summarizes it pretty much. And now we further confirm that with the fact that he just said we have some regrets about the restrictions, lack thereof. So him and other gods or goddesses who made this place have regrets about not making enough restrictions or not even having any at all. We can't be sure. And Blackbird is a bird, so we can assume that possibly, since all the people we've seen so far are human bodies walking around, no one's really weird, disfigured, no one has extra features to them. Victor's the only exception, but he's death god, so it would make sense that he could hide his body or something like that. But Blackbird has somehow become a bird, which would mean that he sort of knew there was something in the afterlife, like he's probably a cult leader or something, and he believed in something, and he then turned into a bird. That's a possibility. I'm not sure how this all works, but that's a theory. Oh, and apparently Victor's been here before? Interesting. It already looks like she's taking in the scenery or looking at the bird, but I think she's taking in the scenery of the office. So, Victor has been here before? Interesting. Now that we know that, I wonder what he's been here before. Maybe to visit Blackbird again? Or is it to check on the infrastructure, maybe? Because since it's the biggest company, you would expect it to have some stuff, so... Oh, he's so happy pointing at her, too. So sweet. Oh, then it just insults him by like, yeah, I feel sorry for you marrying this bozo. And Laura's just like, thank you for that. I am truly also sad that I am stuck with him. And he's hurt. Nice. Oh, okay, so that's confirmed. Even more confirmed. And he already taught her some stuff. And Blackbird adds insult to injury with that comment. Dang, Victor, you are not liked by many people. What have you done? You're supposed to be the death god. People are not supposed to be making fun of you and insulting you like this. They're supposed to be frightened and stuff, not making fun and cracking jokes about you. Oh, now he's mad. He couldn't take the insult to injury aspect. He couldn't take it anymore. Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh, she's gonna do something? Oh, what is she gonna do to get the meeting started? Oh, pat his head? Oh, that's good. That's a good idea. Pat your groom's head. That's really a good idea. She says it out loud. And she smacks him right into the table. Oh my god, and she split the table. Holy Christ. She done a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. That is a lot. She literally broke the table. Wow, Victor, you must be hurting or something right now because you just got insult to injury, then you got mad, and then your bride just pats you on the head where you're thinking, oh, she's nice, oh, something's gonna happen, and then she just bang, just smacks your head immediately down the table. Yeah, pretty intense bride, I'd say. I'd say that's pretty intense. To have the one you love, or been getting a second chance to just take your head and just smack you into a table, like domestic violence? Question mark. But it's okay. They're behind closed doors. Nothing's wrong with that. And he's so happy too. He's like, madam, please teach me your ways. Please teach me so I can be as good an assistant as you. Ah, she's a damage controller. I see. So she controls the damage. Victor's knocked out. Blackbird is also scared of it. He's like, oh, crap, I want to piss her off. Really? It's midnight. Oh. Oh, they used tape to fix it. Look at that. Okay, I don't see how it's skewed in your favor, and I guess that would make sense. The CEO is making a deal and would have it most likely benefit him instead of his employees or other people. Okay, so the theory could still stand that he has to pay for his employee's death. If they die, he has to pay for a funeral service. She hands him a cup of sugar. I just take the sugar packs, dump them all in a cup, and then hand them. Wow, dude, you're really intense on the sugar. And so you'll know when it happens, kind of thing. Interesting. Okay. So they'll leave Rivlainge and free up space when they come to terms with their, you'll know when it happens, kind of thing. Oh, she seems surprised by this. Look at that. can't tell. Can't tell if those are blush lines or if those are just the gradient color of her skin. They look a little bit red, but I can't tell if they're gradient or not. But they look a tiny bit red. Although I could be seeing these. Could be my monitor being glitchy, but it looks like they're kind of red. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just seeing these or wishing these were there. That seems interesting, and she seems a bit surprised because of her lips. Her lips usually are like, but she's like interested in and odd, it looks like, about this. I wonder if it was because they arranged a funeral for the last hurrah. Maybe that's why, but she does seem surprised a bit. Oh, really? It was a shock, but it was in the newspaper. And I highly doubt that someone who knows it, you know when it happens kind of thing, I highly doubt they wouldn't speak up about it and say, hey, I had that situation, I need a funeral. Like, I highly doubt they wouldn't do that. Because I feel like if you realize the you know when it happens situation, you'll be like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let's depart. I have no regrets anymore in Rivlainge. I'm going to leave. Like, I feel like when that happens, you're all set to move on. And you just are fine with the funeral or whatever. And you have no sadness or anything like that. I mean, that would make sense. So I don't know why this happens. Well, then again, that's probably a theory. Oh, how does Victor know? I mean, he's a death god, so I guess he does know the status somehow on each of the souls. I guess, since you can only say that if he really was a death god, because if he controls this aspect of the realm, then he probably knows whether or not a soul is ready for their time, and how long until they reach it. So, so that would be the only way that he would know that how close they were, or how many days or years they have left. So, if that's the case, then that's really interesting. I wonder if he's told Aurora. Probably not. But I think she's a special case. That would make sense, because if we remember correctly from the chart Hitori made, was that we people at the top do everything for society, while you people on the bottom only have to do some stuff for society, which would make sense. And this also explains a bit of the rules by, if you just took from society, so you did all this stuff, but you never gave anything back, which, I wonder what can the Death God be expelled? I mean, he's the lowest ranking, so you would assume if you're the lowest ranking, you'd be kicked out. Or something like that. But since he's Death God, is it just the fact that he... Is it the fact that he doesn't... Is it the fact that he doesn't count as one of the animate souls, and that's just a computer glitch or something? I mean, it looks like he does count, but maybe because he's Death God, it doesn't matter if he keeps taking from society, because, I mean, with his rank being at 7 million, the lowest of the low, he hasn't been expelled yet. He could have arrived there recently, or he could have been there for a long time, which, I guess if he's running a funeral home, it would make sense that he's sort of giving back, but it doesn't seem like he had many clients, or if at all, any. So, it could be that since he's the god of death, he can't be expelled, which is why he's set at the bottom. That would make sense as to why he has been expelled yet, because he's the death god and he can't be expelled, pretty much. Nori worked hard night after night. Yeah, so apparently no one's been expelled, or somebody has been. It seems like nobody has been expelled from Rivlainge. It seems like, if Blackbird is stating that, has someone fallen below your task score? I don't think so. Like, that would seem possible considering the rankings. If we saw, were done by Harmonette, I think. So, and since Victor explained it and said go visit the Harmonette community page for you to see more details and information about the system, I'm guessing Harmonette controls that. He's scared. Look at that. Look at that. He's scared of pouring tea on his boss. Oh my gosh. Oh, killed her. That is true. That is a really bad. That's a really poor design choice. I'm not gonna lie. Minor oversight. Okay. So, I'm assuming these gods know about murder, because I'm assuming lots of people have came to Rivlainge because they were murdered, because they didn't fulfill their life or something. So you would think, if when they created this, you'd think they'd be like, oh yeah, no murder. Like, they'd be like, oh yeah, there's murder in the... nobody can be murdered. Like, you would think they would make it so that happens, but apparently they didn't even think about murder as a possibility in this world. They're like, murder? How can you skip murder when you try and create a world that's trying to make them reach peace, or their you'll know when it happens moment, if you're including murder into it? That just doesn't make sense. That's just really stupid. Don't worry about it. Nobody's gonna kill you. We made it thinking that since it's gonna be paradise, nobody's gonna kill each other. Yeah. Unfortunately for you, human nature is not avoid murder. You'll always be that one person that murders, no matter where you are. Like local goth girl, she murdered 2 people by tripping, nonetheless. Like, like, really? I see the pun. Oh. Oh. So it was in business at one point. Okay. And he calls it an old shack. So he must have been busy beforehand, which would make sense, because he is the death god. It would make sense if he was popular back in the day, but now he's not. I wonder what happened to him to make him drop from being popular to being poor. I wonder what he did or what happened to make him. Ah, yes, that's perfect. I mean, I beg to differ, because I guess, yeah, a wink would be expressive, but I mean, you went like that when you heard about you know what it's about, and you have a funeral. You have 7 days to conduct a funeral. Like, you made the O expression, so I guess a little wink is more expressive than a O. Like, I guess that's less expressive. It's up to the author to decide what's expressive and what's expressive and less expressive. Yeah, I definitely think I saw a blush there, because there's no blush lines here, or any of the reddish shade on at all on her cheek, so that could have been a blush, possibly. Okay, so now we're introduced to blue colors. So it looks like music. It looks like a music note, which we saw her toys be pink, I think. Yeah, it was pink and well, light pink or something. And now we see a blue color surrounding it. It looks like music note, and it goes around communication, information, self-expression, entertainment. So Harmonet is the soul of Rivlainge, apparently. Now, could this mean something about this color here? Because so far, we've been informed that the colors could possibly mean power, because we saw her toys color line and his eye color and what happened. And then we saw Victor use his power, which was purple, to float, whatever. So could this color also be a power? Let's keep that in mind. You know what? I'm going to write that in my notebook real quick. Where is my pencil? There it is. Light blue with the words Soul of Rivlainge. Well, it's not the color that the text is in, but it's the fact that when they mention Soul of Rivlainge, it's blue surrounding the building. So that could mean something. I'm not sure, but that's a theory, a possibility. Yeah, because right there, that's a possibility. Oh, really? That's interesting. But he's like, jolly good speech. Blackbeard probably rolls his eyes. On your side, so it's a voting system or something? What are those shapes? Don't know. Those are the parts that are black, so it could be something, could be nothing. Innocent girl died because of you. Oh, what's the code? Rivlangian code. Let's take that note too. Rivlangian code equals. What does the code equals? Let's see. Of course, when they say, "Oh, two screws too tight," of course they want to listen in on what's happening next. You can never stop listening. Oh, you gotta confirm a theory about Victor's relationship with that girl? Huh. What theory could he possibly have? I mean, she has a second chance. Victor's getting a second chance with her. And she skipped the wait list. Okay. Bond as your true selves of never ending dreams and candor, free from the prejudice and deception of terrestrial grounds. So terrestrial usually means intergalactic or like space-time or like something created in the realm of mythical beings. So that means when you're in Rivlainge, well, I don't know how to decode this exactly. Bond as your true selves of never-ending dreams and candor. So my guess is this is a place where you're free from everything. Nothing's holding you back. You won't die. You won't be discouraged. You won't be insulted. You won't be racist. You won't be any kinds of things that you were in the human world, in the living world. That's not going to happen to you down here because we're all living by this code. And if you break this code, then something happens. Wait. So, he's essentially saying... So he's essentially saying, if you don't confess, you will be exiled or you will be killed, pretty much. You'll be dead. Because you no longer be free from the prejudice and deception. You no longer be free from the gods or goddesses that control this place, maybe. And they will kill you. Yeah, that would make sense because he's really scared about this. And it's like, if you did that, that would kill the economy. Like he's saying, if you kill me, or whatever, from the rule breaking the code, it would destroy this. It would destroy the economy, which would be interesting. So you don't have a replacement? That's interesting. How would destroying you, or getting rid of you, destroy the economy? That makes little to no sense. I see. I see. So if you break the code, you die. By the gods and goddesses, most likely, because you're free from prejudice and deception of terrestrial grounds. So currently, if you follow the code, you're free from the gods being prejudiced and deceiving you. But the second you break the code, the gods and goddesses are free to be prejudiced and no longer deceive you, and will start deceiving you. Interesting. I think that's what it goes into, and it sort of confirms it too, because he's like, I don't want to die. So Ara seems straight-faced still. Victor's like, just kill him, kill the guy. Okay, Victor's thinking, oh, don't do it, dude. Don't do it. If you accept this, Aura's gonna lose respect for you. She's gonna be ticked off at you. I think. Possibly not. We don't know really much about her yet, to whether or not she would let him kill him. Oh, I can't. No, you did not. Victor. Yeah, Victor, you're a horrible being right now. I mean, you're death, but this is worse. Okay, so yeah, it's been a really long time apparently since he had last funeral, and he's been the bottom ranking, so he can't be kicked out because he's death, possibly. That sort of confirms further in the theory that death can't be expelled, can't be kicked out of the realm because of a low tax credit score. She doesn't look happy, Victor. She's not gonna kiss you. She does not look happy about your decision at all. Yup. She's disappointed in you. You can tell by the fact that she has her hands in her fist. Victor, what were you expecting? Were you expecting her to be like, good job, when you were like, you killed, when you were like, yes, you killed an innocent girl. A young girl for that matter. She wasn't even ready to pass on yet. And you killed her. And you broke the code. So just take a out. And Blackbird's bribed him with money and let him go. Like, she's not a god or goddess like you. At least I don't think so. She still has her human morals, and what she did was morally wrong. Well, to most people, morally wrong. I don't know about some others, but accepting a bride instead of killing him for killing a girl like you said that should happen to him? You... Of course she'd be mad at you. What? Yeah. But... So yeah, we learned a bit more. We learned about the Rivlainge code. We learned about Blackbird. We might have learned a little bit more about maybe power possibly in the future. Maybe it's a power. Maybe it's just irrelevant. And we learned that Victor is a horrible, horrible person. He is very, very not a good person. And he doesn't take into consideration other people's feelings. Which would make sense. Because he's deaf. He's lonely. He's only thinking about himself. And I think he's earning a second chance. It's pretty hardcore right now. He got a second chance. And he's making mistakes. You'd think if you get a second chance at something, you would try your best not to make a mistake. But he seems to be making a mistake. Well, other than that, remember, support the author. Go to the website, go to Webtoons, go wherever you can read comics, and you'll find it most likely. And without further, and remember, like, comment, subscribe, like the video. Remember, tell me how I'm doing. I really feel like people need to explain to me if I'm getting too much in detail or rambling or stuff. But yeah, that's about it for this episode. Join me next time for another episode of Endless Night Encore. Without further ado, hope you have an endless night tonight.